Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Wrestle Plug YouTube channel. It is time for some more predictions. We're always predicting, we're always looking into our crystal balls of madness, and the cornucopia of anger that you see in front of you, of course, is myself, Aaron Nix, unprofessional wrestler in every sense. I'm the host of Wrestle Plug. We are going to do predictions for Extreme Rules. Now, because I'm so miserable, because I'm so angry, and because I'm so unhappy in general, I thought I'd bring in someone lovely and beautiful and calm and, just all round very, very humble and pure. Unfortunately, Carl Wilkinson was not available, so we brought Astrid in instead.
Better replacement. No kidding.
Great. Hey, Carl, if you're watching. So yeah, he won't watch because he's lazy and diabetic. So fuck that guy. So yeah, if you're used to seeing on Astrid on Love Wrestling, I apologize. I am not nearly as nice as any of those gentlemen and not nearly as polite. However, I do like talking about wrestling just as much, and I have plenty of opinions that you might have interest in. Astrid, it's time to predict. And we're going to start with the United States Championship. Damian Priest defends his title, calm down, against Jeff Hardy and Sheamus.
I like that it's a three-way just because obviously they use this way to protect somebody always in the match somehow. And I'm hoping that person they're protected is Damian.
There's a joke in there about three ways, and Damian Priest and Astrid is getting awfully sensitive in here. Fair enough.
Yeah, but I still hope that Damian wins though, because I feel like they've been using him really well, so there's no point in having him lose so soon at least. So I'm hoping he doesn't.
He'll win. In honor of Damian Priest, I'm in his garden. I can't see anyone but Damian Priest. No offense, but am I the only one who finds Jeff Hardy really boring now? Like, I like Jeff Hardy, the person. He's a lovely guy, but I don't care anymore. Like, it's great to see him wrestle. And if he's in a match where you don't really care, just a random singles match with, I don't know, Jinder Mahal or whatever, like, oh, cool, Jeff Hardy's on the show. I don't want to see him in prominent positions. I don't feel like I don't think he's good enough. I know it's going to sound horrible. But I feel like the era of Jeff Hardy and all the great stuff we got from him, I'm over it now. And Damian Priest is new and exciting and fresh and beautiful, and he's the future and the evolution of what we want the mid-card, hopefully going on to the main event, to look like. And for me, Jeff Hardy is only in this match to add a bit more gravitas, because we've seen Sheamus versus Damian Priest in singles matches like 50 times already. So, and I love Sheamus. But yeah, Damian Priest will retain. This is probably, for me, the closest to a gimme on the card, and probably the match I'm least excited about, which is why I asked you who you thought would win this one first. So yeah, without further ado, moving on from the, by the way, congratulations on Latin, I believe it was Latin Heritage Month. Is that correct? Or is that next month?
Yeah, I would say it's Hispanic Heritage Month, but I like to go by Latinx more than anything. But yeah, that'll be it.
Yeah. Despite my unbelievably candid nature, I like stuff like that. I think it's very important. And I love Latin wrestling, especially, as you know. So Damian Priest for the win, not just because it's, Latin heritage, right? Give him, that Vince McMahon's backstage. What? Latin what? No idea what that is, but give Damian Priest the belt so he doesn't cry about racism, because Vince is a twat. A singles match. This really does stand out as the kind of match where you think, because it's only a 6-match card. So I'm assuming all of these matches will be on the main show. Liv Morgan versus Carmella.
It makes me excited though, because I like having the women having storylines without a title. I'm like, you don't have to involve the title, and it starts to involve as many women as possible. Even if the title's not involved, I really don't care. But having as many women's matches as possible is what I like to see on a card on a regular basis. So it's nice to see that there's something else other than the SmackDown Women's Championship. But the way it's like built, it was like, okay, because I'm like, what about Carmella being more beautiful than Liv when they're both beautiful women? I don't understand that part of it. That's just like,
because that Liv Morgan's really ugly.
It's like, I don't understand that part, and that part of the build-up is the one that just like meh. But I know that these two ladies will deliver, and that's what we want from this match. So that's why I'm excited about the match. It's mostly because I want to see them wrestle, and I know they'll give us that match. Not the build-up whatsoever. I really don't care how the build-up has, because it's been terrible in my opinion. But plus, we don't know if maybe Zelina will show up and make her presence known as well. Tony Storm could come out, make her presence known in this match as well. So, I mean, it will lead to others, maybe other ladies showing up during the match, but I'm excited for it though. I just don't know who to pick though as the winner. I'm hope Liv wins, because I feel like Liv has been like a little bit more off TV than Carmella has. But I feel like either way, it will be a good match to see.
You're not sitting on the fence, are you? Because that will incur a penalty on the WrestlePlug.
No, I really want Liv to win it. Just like, yeah, I'm just excited. You want to see what else happens in this one.
Yeah, 2 for 2 with me. I think Liv Morgan wins. Carmella's been actually quite good at playing the diva-like heel. People will slag her off. Carmella, I think, is what everyone hoped Ava Marie was going to be, and isn't, because Carmella is somewhat legitimate in the ring, whereas Ava Marie is trash. I like Ava Marie because she does a job, but she is trash. Whereas Carmella, it's like, ooh, I love you because I hate you. You know, it's that kind of thing of like, you're good at your job, so it's easy for me to hate you, but realistically, you're smoking hot and really cool and all the other things that go with it. And I like Corey Graves as well, and I like their relationship. I think it's quite sweet. But I love Liv Morgan. Everybody knows that I crush hard for Liv Morgan. Very, very hard. And she's also super talented. And when she had that little run about a couple of years ago where they kind of teased the idea of her being in the title run during the COVID era, she had that like kind of pre-show match at WrestleMania, which was a bit disappointing because it felt like they were building to something more. But she was picking up big wins against very credible competitors, people like Natalia, and you thought, oh, we're on to something here. They're going to try something new, coming off of that terrible lesbian angle that they were going to do with Lana, which was just garbage.
We don't know what that means. We're just taking it off the books.
that never happened.
No.
Yeah, so hopefully this is going to be the start of something. But WWE has kind of shown me lately that I remember you coming on last time and saying I would like to see more mid-card women's matches. I don't think they're going to do that. I think this is a token thing, and we're not going to get enough of it. What they should have done is actually had the other two in a singles match as well on this card to really state their intent, but they're not going to do that. But it is nice, even though it's only 6 matches, 2 of them are women's matches, so a third of the card is women's matches, and that's definitely an improvement on, say, 20 years ago. And you know that the other match is going to kill it, to be fair. So I'm going to go with Liv Morgan. As we're on the subject, of course, SmackDown Women's Championship is on the line. Barky Lynch. Getting on my tits with her annoying accent. And bearing in mind, I have so many people who are close to me who are Irish. That's quite a mean feat, or no mean feat, as I might say. Becky Lynch defends the title against Bianca Belair in the match that we hopefully will get, that we didn't get at SummerSlam.
Yeah, it better last more than 26 seconds at least. Please. That's all I asked for it.
If your answer lasts longer than the match, then we're in trouble.
Yep. This one I'm torn about. I know Becky's probably gonna retain most likely, but I would have liked Bianca to win it. I just like I miss having Sasha in there too, and I don't know. It just like it doesn't feel the same like I hoped it would be, but I think Becky's still gonna retain because I don't see her as a heel losing it so soon like that, especially in that manner, going back and forth like a hot potato sort of thing with the championship. But I feel like if Bianca doesn't win at the same time, it kind of like take off a little bit of what her gimmick is, I guess, the EST, and I feel like it wouldn't be the same if she loses this match as well compared to the 26-second match, the way they're saying in the storyline. But yeah, I'm kind of torn about this one.
Lucky we're not in competition, isn't it? Because I think Becky's going to retain as well. Also, it's Latin History Month. It's not Black History Month, so Bianca Belair isn't allowed to win per the rules of Vince McMahon. I'm sure Vince McMahon's like, well, is it Black History Month? No? Well, shut up. Get out. Okay. Yeah, no, this should be a good match. And you're hoping this is going to be the match that SummerSlam wasn't. So the rumors were that Becky wasn't good to go or wasn't physically capable enough of having a good match, which is why they opted. In that case, don't fucking do it then. It's not that hard. but they opted to anyway. So I assume what's going to happen here is Becky still retains, but this is the match that proves to everybody, she can still go, she can still have great matches, which in my opinion, I think she's carried a bit in matches. That upsets people. I think from a character standpoint, she's excellent. I think from a wrestling standpoint, I find her matches to be a bit boring, a little bit tedious, lacking in creativity. Hate the new finisher, the manhandle slam, which is it's just a shit rock bottom. It doesn't work. It doesn't look good, especially when you consider what the other women are doing. Sasha Banks has got the bank statement, which just looks great and effective and dangerous. And you've got Bianca Belair's finisher. And, even, the girls like Liv Morgan and Carmella, they all have highly impactful finishes. And then here comes Becky with it.
Like Carmella's code of silence and the way she does it, when she does it so smoothly. Oh, I love when she does it.
Yeah, many of us do. The first is real tonight. No, it's, to be fair though, it looks good and it looks like it could legitimately pass somebody out. Like there's a lot of moves where you think, oh, fuck off. Remember the worm or the people's elbow where you're like, that's a lot of hype for a standard kind of fall. Like, this is one of those things. But enough about the finisher. Becky Lynch definitely retains. I just hope the match is good. If the match is good, I can excuse that. If they go out and lay an egg, which they could possibly do, because I do think that Bianca Belair is there's going to be a lot riding on her to kind of help put the match together a bit more, I think. She's a better wrestler and a better athlete. Personally, I don't think that's a big stretch. A lot of people will probably disagree. But if she can't build a good match and help work Becky back into the system, because this is apparently Becky's kind of first real foray. I know she's been wrestling house shows. That's very different. Apparently they wrestled a house show match which lasted about 8 or 9 minutes over here in the UK. They just did the UK tour. One of my friends went to the London show. She won with a cheap roll up, so it would not surprise me if that is exactly the same match they have, because that's the idea of house shows effectively, is to build those matches and work the tweaks out so that you wrestle on pay-per-view. So yeah, Becky Lynch to win with a cheap shit roll-up, probably pulling the tights because she's dastardly and heelish and don't give a shit really. Hopefully, maybe Sasha Banks might come back during the match. That's my wild card prediction, that Sasha Banks comes down and costs Bianca Belair. She's just like, damn you, other black wrestler. Because that'll be Vince will be like, that's it, I want one black woman on the screen at one time. That's it. You've had your fun. And rather alarmingly, now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure that WrestleMania was around the Black History kind of time period. So awkward. I said that women's matches, that there was only 2. There's actually 3. Half of the matches are women's matches. Astrid didn't correct me because she's too polite. Charlotte Flair defends her Raw Women's Championship against Alexa Bliss.
It's your favorite match. Look at you, so excited for it.
I swear to God, if this goes longer than 10 minutes, I'm turning off the TV.
So I better be towards the end then, I hope.
You know what Alexa Bliss is to me? She's like the Jacksonville Jaguars. She can do everything that all the other teams / wrestlers can do. It's just that she's not nearly as good as everybody else at it, and she deserves to be at the bottom of the barrel, and her gimmick sucks. It sucks. It's shit. Charlotte Flair had better win, or I will be fucking furious. Because Charlotte Flair, whether you like it or not, and because I am obviously a huge Charlotte Flair mark, Charlotte Flair looks like a wrestler. She looks like a star. Alexa Bliss looks like a child playing with stupid toys. And it's not even a thing of like, I hate you because of your gimmick. I hate you because it's trash. It's just so fake. And WWE has got a lot of problems right now with stupid storylines and dumb, childish behavior. This just buries it just a little bit further. Get in there. Like, chuck it in the fucking, bury it deep in the desert somewhere and just get her back to being the goddess or, the tag team partner of Nikki. Like, it's really funny actually, because you look at Nikki Ash now, the older Alexa Bliss would have been perfect. Like, face Alexa Bliss would have been perfect as a tag partner right now for this run. And instead she's with Rhea Ripley, which is by no means a bad thing. They're great wrestlers, but I hate Alexa Bliss's character at this point. It's boring now. And also, have you noticed, since they've gone to live TV again in front of crowds, they can't do all the stupid editing during the matches, so our matches and segments are boring. And I think you watched Raw this week. The segment where she had Charlotte Flair on her playground and she kind of ran her down and she basically went shoot was really stupid because she literally came out and said, oh, fuck this gimmick, it's a load of bollocks. But you, Charlotte, you're trash. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, you're just making it feel even more fake by running down your own gimmick in front of an audience. So, yeah, Charlotte Flair better win or I'll be furious.
Yeah, the thing it makes me miss the old Alexa Bliss because I'm like, if it was the old Alexa Bliss, I would have want her to win because we haven't had her as a champion in quite a while. And that's the part that I want from it, though. But at the same time, I wonder how those Lily sales are going and how they're going to influence this match is the thing that I'm like, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, if it was the old Alexa, I would have been like, sure, let's have her win because it would have been nice to see her as a champion instead of Charlotte at this time. But with everything going on, I really don't mind Charlotte retaining, to be honest. Yeah,
you're just saying that because you're scared I'll have a go at you for picking Alexa Bliss. I've seen you on social media. No, I hope Alexa Bliss wins. Oh, I hate Charlotte Flair. No, Charlotte Flair wins all the time. She's so boring.
No, I like the back and forth they had in the promo though. Like that back and forth, how they responded back to each other. I was like, yes, give me more of this. Like this is what I want. And you can tell that had nothing to do more with the Lily part. It was like more of Alexa and Charlotte doing their thing, which is what I wanted. I'm like, that's what I liked about it so much. It made me so excited for the match more than anything. But I'm like, yeah, that's not gonna happen in the match most likely.
That's the problem though, because like I mentioned, that back and forth was kind of more shoot real. Like two women going at each other saying, you know, fuck you, bitch. And it didn't fit the dynamic. It fit Charlotte's dynamic, which is I am a bitch who thinks I'm above everyone else. It didn't fit Alexa Bliss's dynamic, which is like, oh, I'm cute and crazy and I can summon demons from my arsehole. And I'm just like, well, why are you like? And then like my favorite part of that whole thing was when she said to Charlotte, oh, you know, using a catchphrase that isn't even yours. And she was like, don't even start about using something that isn't yours, as in reference to Bray Wyatt. I was like,
I know.
Silence, small child. You'll speak when spoken to. Great stuff. Loved it. But yeah, I'm sure the match will be fine. It's just I hate the gimmick and it's so fake. I find it really hard to detach myself from her matches. So yeah, in some ways I kind of wish they'd gone full cinematic. Go full fucking stupid or just don't bother at all.
Yeah.
Now on to the serious part of the show. Oh, this better be good. We've had teases to this match already and you know, a few schmozzes and that. The SmackDown Tag Team Championships are on the line. The Usos, the best tag team of the modern generation. What's that? The Young Bucks, not even top 10, so shut your mouths. Versus the Street Profits, who are also fucking awesome.
This match. This is even though I love Roman and Balor, but it's probably going to be my match of the night, most likely, because I'm just like,
main, isn't it? You got to
I'm like, I am so excited for this one. I don't see the Usos losing, to be honest. So it's still going to be one of those matches that it doesn't matter who wins, it's still going to be good. So I really don't care who wins this one at this point.
Yeah, this is the thing where I can be like, go out and do your thing, lads. I know you're going to kill it. So I'll just sit here and enjoy it and watch it. That's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to go out there and steal the show. By the way, we got a little taste, didn't we, on SmackDown of what Montez Ford can do. What have I been saying on this podcast for 2 years? Montez Ford is certifiably a superstar. He is WWE champion material. And the fact that Big E won it proves my point even more because he's a big, colorful character, you know, wacky, crazy, African-American, really playing on those kind of vibes, beautiful, really cool, really for the culture, which is fucking awesome. And Montez Ford has got all the skills already. He's incredible on the mic. He's hilariously entertaining. Beautiful singer, by the way. He's got the wife to boot as well. Him and Bianca are like super like power couple in wrestling. And he's got the credibility from the tag team run. So that and the fact that he got in there with Roman Reigns, I think speaks volumes that the company must finally be thinking, yeah, because there's a big push for diversity, especially in the men's, I've noticed. A lot more black African-American champions, which I think is fucking good. And let's be honest, it's just been about 50 years, Vince. It's all good. Like, what? Black history? I'll give you black history. He's really going overboard with the African stuff this year, Vinny. I'm loving it. But they probably said, what about this guy here, Montez Ford? What fucking talent he is. It's just that, I don't want to brag, but I did kind of see it before everyone else. Just saying. So when he is WWE champion in about a year's time, you're welcome, America. You're welcome. The Usos retain because they're the greatest tag team of the modern era. Followed so ever so closely by FTR, but those guys aren't allowed to wrestle because it'll upset the people in charge of A-dubs. So yeah, the Usos to retain, which I'm pretty sure means that. Did you pick Alexa Bliss or Charlotte Flair?
Charlotte.
Yeah, so we've literally picked the same for every single match. And I wonder if that's going to stay the same for your Universal Championship. Roman Reigns defends his Universal Championship against Demon Balor. Ireland's all over this one, isn't it? You got Sheamus, Becky Lynch. It must be Irish. I don't know. Maybe it's I don't know. It's Patrick's Day coming up, and I just missed that. Yeah,
we missed the memo.
Roman Reigns defends the belt. Like, I'm sure it'll be an amazing match, but it is so difficult to really enjoy them as much as you want to, knowing the outcome is pretty obvious already.
Why you put me in this position for this one?
Well, pick Finn Balor, mate, so I can win by one.
Yeah, I want Roman to retain it, but just like, because I thought from the beginning, like, why would they put the Demon in this position to have him lose at the same time, which is like my thought process since they announced the match. But yeah, I still want Roman to win.
It's a clever concept, isn't it? Because I think if they just put Finn Balor in there, which they've already done, they shouldn't have done that on SmackDown. You can tell that they're affected by AEW's growth because they're putting on more. They're doing the WCW thing, like, quick, get a major title match every single week, and it's like, okay, but it is a marathon. Calm down, because AEW is going to make mistakes. They're going to do stupid shit because it's AEW, and you just know because Tony Khan has a fancy for touching dogs, apparently, allegedly. Don't sue me, Tony. I just think that, it would have been nice to have I would have personally had this match be the first of their matches and just have normal Finn Balor. And then, like, it was great to see Demon Balor. I thought that SmackDown where he came out was one of the best SmackDowns I've seen of the modern era. But I would have liked to have saved it for something more, something bigger, something even more important, as opposed to being like, you're in Madison Square Garden, just roll them all out because we're desperate to beat Dynamite in the ratings and Rampage, which, let's be honest, ain't even competing. It's just a fun little 1 hour show. And I actually really like Rampage because it's easier to watch. I like 1 hour shows. Although less bullshit with people's cars being on the line. That stuff is fake as shit. That's another story. But yeah, Roman Reigns obviously retains, but yeah, it'll be an amazing match. It does kind of ruin the luster, doesn't it, a little bit of the Demon. But I don't think the Demon has ever lost. So this will be it's almost kind of like stacking it even more for Roman, because it's like, not only did he beat Finn Balor, he beat Demon Finn Balor. That legitimizes him even more going into Saudi Arabia, which is obviously the perfect choice to have the biggest match you've got left in your company's history. What do you think about Brock and Roman being in Saudi Arabia before it probably will be in America of any sort?
To be honest, I've only seen one of the Saudi Arabia pay-per-views because it was the women's match, and mainly because of that. Yeah. So I haven't seen any of the other ones yet because I'm just like, do I really want to? Plus, not only that, but I'm like, especially in the US, you're not going to have a lot of people watching around that time because a lot of people are working.
I was going to say, isn't it like 2 o'clock in the afternoon? Like,
yeah, it's either 2 or 3 p.m. at least Eastern time. So I know that a lot of people are probably going to be working. So
not me.
Probably more people in the US. It's gonna be less people in the US watching than usual too. So it makes you wonder why they decided to do
how
that.
You like it, America, you fucking idiots. We have to stay fucking, like, tonight. It starts at 1 in the fucking morning. Like, we have to put up with this all the time, and Americans are like, all the British with their dodgy teeth have to stay up late. It's like, yeah, well, you can watch your pay-per-view at 1 in the afternoon while you're sitting there eating your ridiculously overly diabetic snacks, America. Fuck you. Obviously you don't count because you're technically Puerto Rican, so you get a pass for the American shit, even though you speak immaculate English. Just out of pure curiosity, born in America or born in Puerto Rico?
Puerto Rico, yeah.
Puerto Rico. I can't put the twang on it. Sexy accent, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? Listen to Damien Priest. Look at him. He makes me moist. Yeah, he does. And yeah, that'll be his entrance will be the only thing I have any interest in. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is your Extreme Rules predictions. And I think it goes without saying that it might be the most predictable pay-per-view of all time because we have literally picked the same 6 in every single match. So yeah. And genuinely, this might be the first time in WrestlePlug history in almost 5 years where both people who are predicting get everything clean sweep. Because I think it could genuinely be a clean sweep. And as we know, Astrid is so good at predictions, courtesy of the old PvP days. And that reference will only be got by about 5 people. Because the rest of them are all fucked off or hate me. But yeah, anything in particular you want to add before we wrap it up?
No, I'm just looking forward to having at least half of the card being a girls match, girls matches I'm really excited about. Other than that, yeah, I'm just it's probably gonna be so weird having a pay-per-view end kind of early, I guess, because there's only 6 matches compared to most pay-per-views. So that's gonna feel weird for sure. But yeah, other than that, I'm kind of looking forward to it.
Yeah, I always watch the NFL every Sunday, and so I always sort of think, pay-per-view, shall I watch it later? But I really like shorter pay-per-view formats. And I was worried when they went back to crowds, it was all going to be 3.5, 4 hours. And that can really drag on a long time. And AEW can get away with it because they're only doing 4 pay-per-views a year, and then everything else is like TV special. So yeah, I have high hopes though. Like the card itself is actually really good. It's just very predictable. That's the only shame about it. You do sit there and think, well, pretty obvious that everybody who's out there who's a big star.
Yeah, there's only one Extreme Rules match, so I was like, the pay-per-view is technically just one match. I'm like, unless they add something else last minute to the other girls matches, because I'm like, Liv Morgan and Carmella would have been able to use something like a tables match or something like that, make it more like violent in a sense with the way they advertise it. That would have been better for the match too.
This is, we could go on forever on it, but like I've said to you before, and I've said on the podcast many times, one of the worst things I think WWE did was gimmick their pay-per-views with actual gimmicks. So Extreme Rules, TLC, Hell in a Cell, because it takes away the magic of it. Hell in a Cell was, the idea of that was, when nothing else can be resolved, we're going to put you inside Hell in a Cell. It's going to be an evil. And now it's like, oh, it's October. Better bring the cage down. And now it's red. And it's like, fucking hell. It doesn't feel even remotely intimidating. And the same with, although Money in the Bank I do like, I think they've actually made something really cool out of Money in the Bank. That feels like the 5th biggest pay-per-view now. That kind of, and they're putting that in a big stadium, aren't they, next year? I think they're putting that in Vegas. They're making a big deal out of that. And I think they're pushing towards making that a major pay-per-view alongside the Rumble and Mania and things of that nature. But yeah, less bullshit gimmick pay-per-views. Normally, I love a card where there isn't too much gimmicks going on, but the fact that, like you say, there's only one gimmick match and it's just a load of, have some wrestling matches. But then AEW goes the other way with it. Everything's got to have a gimmick. So, it could work that way. Before you go, Astrid, let us know your socials and when you are going to next be on Love Wrestling, because I'm not a part of it, but I'll let you plug it because I'm a nice person like that.
I'm doing Love Wrestling on Tuesdays, reacting to NXT. So our show is called literally NXT, like TEA. We do that on Tuesdays, and then Saturdays we do like Saturday react shows, and we react to like wrestling news that's happened during the week or the rest of the wrestling stuff. This past show we did a mock draft of the WWE draft. So that's been cool to do. It's probably the longest show we've had so far, but it was weird to do like that live. First time I do something like that. And then when I'm not doing that, and I'm on my Twitter, which is Astrid Pizarro, and I'm always tweeting about like the wrestling stuff or my book stuff there too.
Yeah, she's definitely worth follow. She's genuinely a lovely person, and I am not. And you should be under no illusions that if you do follow at WrestlePlug or at Aeron and Astrid Design, you will see a lot of stuff about wrestling. You'll see some very, very controversial opinions, and most likely you won't enjoy me because I don't just play a heel, I just play real, innit? So yeah, chances are I don't like you, so don't follow me. Follow her. If you were gonna follow me, why not give Astrid another follow? Make a burner account and follow her so she's got loads of followers because she deserves them and I don't. And also, I don't like any of them, particularly Love Wrestling. They can all kiss my ass. But all jokes aside, that is a really good stream. I watched the NXT one, as you know, and tried to react as much as possible. And it's actually really good content. And Astrid is really killing it over there. So give it an opportunity if you're looking for something a little bit too positive for my liking. But, you know, it is what it is. These guys live they're lovely, happy, positive people. And I'm not. I am angry and miserable. And I will pick out all the flaws, even if you are excellent, because that's what smarks do. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully you've taken this in, and this is a bit of a better pre-show than watching Sam Roberts and his curly pubic fucking merkin of a head floating around on your TV screen, because that guy is literally AIDS and I hate him. So yeah, enjoy the pay-per-view tonight. Let us know in the comments below what you think. Who's going to win? Who's not going to win? Don't leave comments after the pay-per-view writing down all the winners and going, 6 of 6. I know what you're up to, Lee Meeks. You're not getting away with it. But yeah, check out Wrestle Plug. Obviously, check out all the stuff we're doing in terms of independent wrestling, particularly in Britain. And we will catch you very soon for more content from the plug.